Welcome, everyone. It is so good to see you all tonight. You know, this is the first time we have been in this room having dinner together before a concert and up on this stage since before COVID. So it's wonderful to be back together again so we can share in a fellowship and dinner and also play from this wonderful stage. So thank you all for coming tonight. And especially we want to welcome our Family Promise guests tonight. They're our special guests, and so we're welcoming them as well. So make yourself comfortable. Find another chair if you need another chair, or turn around, whatever you need to do just to make yourself comfortable. So we're so glad that you're here. I want to thank the kitchen crew for the wonderful dinner. Rhonda Wetz kind of helped put that together. I hope you enjoyed a warm potato in this cold weather and maybe some wonderful salad. So I'm going to introduce our pastor, Pastor Steve Reinhardt, who will open us up with a prayer. Drum roll, please.
Hey, and a special thanks to Mrs. Claudette Rothwell. She works so hard, so many behind-the-scenes things. Yes, she's also directing the bell choir, but did you know she bought 100 potatoes for you tonight? She went out and did that herself. I just want to give a special thanks for Claudette. She works so hard. Well, you know, it is Sunday, which means I do have another sermon prepared. So I didn't let Claudette know this, but this is a little boy who some years ago, it was Christmas on a Sunday. I think that's happening this year, right? Christmas on a Sunday. The pastor got to church early to get everything set up, got out of her car, walked across the parking lot, and looked at the nativity in the front yard. And the baby Jesus was missing. And he thought, oh no, somebody in the neighborhood stole a baby Jesus. I'm so upset about this. But she went ahead and she went into her office and she was getting some work done on the sermon, and she looked out the window and she saw a little boy named Joey. He was pulling a bright, shiny red radio flyer wagon. Anybody ever have one of those? So great. And inside the wagon was the baby Jesus from the nativity. And she ran out and she said, Joey, what are you doing? I was wondering what happened to baby Jesus. And Joey said, you know, every Sunday when I came, all through Advent, all December and part of November, I was praying to baby Jesus in the nativity. I was praying, baby Jesus, if you give me a radio flyer, red shiny wagon, I'll give you a ride. So I guess the question for me is, Steve, what have you done for Jesus lately? So this group of talented people, they are sharing those talents and bringing some great inspiration to a lot of people. There's a group of 30 people this week who are hosting our guests from Family Promise all through the week, staying overnight here, providing meals, helping out. A church that says, Jesus, we thank you for a gift that we could have never earned, and we want to do something to say thank you. This is what we're going to do for you, Jesus. So big part of the present of Christmas is our present, our gifts, and our presence with one another. So let's go ahead and have a prayer as I remember the lyrics to a song my sister Stephanie wrote 25 years ago. And the chorus was, hear the bells on Christmas morn, for Jesus they are pealing. On this day our Savior was born. Let's spread the joy we're feeling. Let's pray. Gracious God, for the gifts, for you, the giver, for our opportunity to give back, we thank you. And we pray that in this time together, we would put away the worries of this past week and any concerns for this coming week and be here right now, be present, and recognize the present of your presence with us, the gift of your presence with us, in the music, in our thoughts, in the fellowship around.
I forgot to mention to all of those that are watching us online, we welcome you as well. So we're sorry you're not with us in person tonight, but we're just grateful that you're tuning in on one of your devices. So, you know what? We're going to have a little fun tonight. So I'm going to test you to see how much trivia you know, okay? So I'm going to ask a question, and if you know the answer, just shout it out, okay? And we'll just see how many know, okay? Kids can participate too. In the song, Frosty the Snowman, what made Frosty come to life? What kind of hat? An old silk hat, right? Yes, a top hat. Yes, wonderful. What Christmas decoration was originally made from strands of silver? Tinsel, yes. Good job. Okay, some of you are really good at this. Who played George Bailey in the Christmas classic, It's a Wonderful Life? Who was that? Jimmy Stewart, yes. Okay, now choir, you can't answer all the questions. Remember that, okay? So. Okay, we had to take a little time to let them get set up, so we'll have some more trivia in just a minute. But our first song was How Great Our Joy, and it was indeed a joy to play, and we're so grateful that we have a pastor who can play the keyboard like he does and come up and just join us. So thank you, Pastor Steve, for joining us on that piece. Next, we're going to have a little fun with Go Tell It on the Mountain. It is an African-American spiritual, and it dates back to the mid-19th century, and it's become a real popular Christmas carol. And so it is with joy that we go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere, that Jesus Christ is born. Thank you so much. That's a tricky little piece to play, but we kind of had fun with it. We just couldn't quite get the swing the way we wanted to swing, but we still had fun. Okay, let's do a little more trivia. Okay, per a recent holiday fad, what spy hides around the house reporting back to Santa on who has been naughty and nice? The elf on the Okay, you may not know this one, I don't know. What Christmas beverage is also known as milk punch? Eggnog. Ooh, we got some good people here, okay. One of Santa's reindeer shares a name with a famous symbol of Valentine's Day. Which reindeer is that? Cupid. Did you say Rudolph? Yeah. It's Cupid. Okay. What Christmas-themed ballet premiered in St. Petersburg, Russia in 1892? What'd you say? Nutcracker, yes. You guys are really good at this. Maybe I need to go to the back where they get harder. Think so? Let's see. Which Bing Crosby song is the best-selling single ever? Oh, yes. I like that one. Are you guys ready for this next piece?
Yep.
Okay, if I say, Alvin, what do you think of? The Chipmunks. The Chipmunks first appeared in a novelty record release in 1958. So another trivia question, what were the names of the Chipmunks? Alvin. Kelsey, you got it all. Theodore, Simon, and Alvin. Yes, okay. And who was the father? Dave. Yes, okay. Good job. Okay. Christmas, don't be late. Okay. Chipmunks, you can take a rest, okay? Let's have all of the Chime Time kids come up now who are going to play with us today. Our Chime Time kids, I never know who's going to show up, so it'll be interesting to see who comes. No, go around the stairs. It's going to take us just a little bit, so just rest, okay? Ready? These are our Chime Time kids for tonight, anyway. We normally take our Sunday school kids each week, and we pull them into a music time after their Sunday school class. And so we have about 20 minutes with them about 3 times a month. And so they're doing a great job learning how to play chimes. And I am really, 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 really excited that you're all here tonight, okay? And we have a guest conductor. We have Zamora. This piece was the ringer's choice, Jingle Bells. Everybody, if we have other children in the audience that want to come up, we're going to have a little story time. So find a place here in front. Okay, you can turn around and look at me because I'm going to read the story, okay? Okay? It's a tiny chair. Let's hope I don't break it. Okay, Aurora, come sit by me, okay? I'm going to have you show the book, the pictures. Have you read this book? Okay, turn around so you can see the book. Come on, everybody. All the children, come over here. I want you to hold up the pictures because I'm going to be reading from something else. Okay? So here we go. When we finish the sentence, you turn the page, okay? Okay? We have all the kids up here. You want to come up? Does she want to come up? Anybody else?
I think Tatum will
Tatum, you want to come up? Where's Tatum? Oh, there you are, Tatum. Okay, Liam, have a seat, okay? Okay, we're going to have the story. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and we have some, you're going to have to listen because we have some special sound effects to go with it, okay? All right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Okay, you ready? So everybody can see the pictures? You guys ready to listen to the story?
Yep.
Okay. Now I've got to have this, okay? You listen. Okay, you ready? 'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. Okay, let's move on. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below. I've got to see it, okay? When what to my wondering eyes did appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With the little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up on the housetop, the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then, in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team, gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim ere he drove out of sight, Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Okay. Because we don't do that. Okay, we have a small ensemble coming up now to get set up. It's going to take them just a little bit of time because they've got to get their notebooks rearranged. So I'm going to give you a little bit of handbell history. Whenever we go out on the road and play at different places, sometimes people want to know a little bit about our bells and how they got started, what they're made of, and things like that. So I'm just going to read my little script here. The instruments you see before you tonight are called handbells. They were invented in England a long time ago in the 16th century. They didn't start out as musical instruments. They were actually used by the ringers of the tower bells to practice on. In those days, there was no television, there was no radio, but every little town had bells that hung on ropes way up in a church tower. The tower bells were used to wake people up and tell them it was time to go to work, and then tell them when the workday was over. The tower bells would call people to the church and then give the signal when church was over. I said that, or, oh no, the workday was over, the church was over, they'd ring the bells. If a baby was born, or if there was a wedding taking place, or when someone died, you would hear the bells. If there was a fire or emergency in the town, then the bells would ring from the lowest sounding bell up to the highest. But most of the time, the bells rang from the top or the highest sound down to the lowest. The wealthy men of the town, who probably didn't have to go to work, would go up into the towers and pull on the ropes. They thought it was fun. They would go up into the towers and ring rounds, which was ringing from the highest bell to the lowest over and over with this, and so they decided to make it more challenging. They invented what we call change ringing, or ringing in patterns. They would spend a lot of time practicing these patterns. If you have 8 bells, there are over 40,000 different patterns or changes possible, and that takes several hours to ring. After a while, the townspeople got a little tired of hearing the bells ringing all day long, and for the bell ringers, the towers were cold in the wintertime and probably hot in the summer. So to solve this problem, the churches had small handbells made. If they had 8 tower bells, then they had 8 handbells. Many years later, a famous circus owner brought an English handbell ringing group to America. The Americans loved the sounds of the shiny little bells, and they began forming their own handbell choirs. Do you know who the circus owner was? Barnum and Bailey, yes. Today, there are handbell choirs all over the country in churches, in schools, and communities. They're very popular, and so bigger bells and smaller bells are being made all of the time. Our bells were made in Pennsylvania. We have a total of, well, I think this is wrong. This is several years old. We have more than 74 bells. Our largest bell, Andrea, where are you? Somebody, oh, there you are. Natalie, come find the big bell, the C3. Our C3 bell is our largest bell, and it weighs 8 pounds, 4 ounces. Can you ring it?
Maybe.
Got it? There we go. 8 pounds, 4 ounces. Our smallest bell weighs 7 ounces. It's a C8. The bells are made of a mixture of copper and tin. And we wear gloves to protect our bells to keep them nice and shiny because they will tarnish, and our skin has oils on them, and so if they're comes into contact with the metal, it tarnishes just like your copper or your brass does at home. And we have to get the polishing cloths out and really work hard to polish them, so we wear gloves. And about once a year, we do have to take them apart and clean them with our special polish. So there are many different ways that we can play the bells to achieve the different sounds. And some of those sounds you heard in our story, but we're going to demonstrate those again so you can tell exactly what we can do. We can shake the bell. We can thumb damp. Use a mallet on a suspended bell. We can mallet on the table. We can do what's called a martellato. A martellato lift, a gyro, an echo, we can toll the bell, we can pluck the bell, and we can ring the bell. So we can do a lot of different techniques, and each one of our techniques have different symbols in our music so we know which technique to use. So, are you guys ready? Okay, our small ensemble is ready to play a group of 3 songs for you. Time for a little more trivia, okay? In the song Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, what incriminating evidence was found on Grandma's back? Claws marks. Miracle on 34th Street centers on what real-life department store? Macy's, yeah. In the early 1800s, the first gingerbread houses were reportedly inspired by what famous fairy tale? Anybody say Hansel and Gretel? Raise your hand if you got that one right. A few people did, yes, okay. They need a little more setup time, so. How many reindeer were featured in the poem, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas? 8. There was no Rudolph, right? What traditional Christmas decoration is actually a parasitic plant? Mistletoe, yes. Okay. In the Muppet Christmas Carol, who played Scrooge? I thought I heard somebody say Michael Caine, yes. Okay. What beverage company has been using Santa Claus in its advertising since 1931? Coca-Cola. Okay. You guys ready? This next piece we're going to play is probably the most well-known Christmas carol of all, and that is Silent Night. And you guys get to participate. Whenever I turn around, you're going to look at the words on the screen and sing along with us. And I'm going to ask Tracy to come up and just kind of, maybe just stand here. She has got the most gorgeous voice, and so she's going to kind of help lead Silent Night, okay? We're going to do 2 verses, the first and last verse of Silent Night. First and last.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round young virgin mother and child. Oh,
You know, it really wouldn't be Christmas if we didn't sing Silent Night. So thank you for singing along with us on that piece. Our next piece we're going to play is Where Are You Christmas? And if you were at our Christmas concert last year, then you heard us play this piece. It's from the hit movie, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It's a beautiful piece that has charmed our hearts, and we wanted to share it with you again this year. Pastor Steve will join us once again on the keyboard. Where Are You Christmas? Before we play this last number for our concert tonight, I want to thank two important people who are in the back on our soundboard and with our video and with just anything that I need them for, Wayne Cholin and Warren Brown. Thank you so much for all you do. And once again, I want to thank all of you for coming. It's been a joy, a real joy to have you here tonight, and we hope that we've just brought a little bit of Christmas joy into your life tonight. So we're going to play our last song, Repeat the Sounding Joy. We're going to go Baroque this Christmas with this festive melding of Bach's Brandenburg Concerto No. 3 and Handel's Joy to the World. The addition of the orchestral chimes that will be played by Tracy Reinhardt provide interest and a real sparkle. So we hope you enjoy Repeat the Sounding Joy. Again, thank you so much. And, you know, sometimes we take one of our big bills and we put it by the door. And so as you leave, if you want to leave a little donation, just make sure it's soft money and not hard money so we damage the bill. We'd just love to have you leave a little donation to help us provide some of the equipment and repairs and stuff that we need sometimes. We have foam pads under here. Our notebooks break sometimes. We have mallets and just all kinds of stuff. But you're not required, but if you feel free to do that, we would love to have you leave a donation. So again, thank you so much tonight. And if you want to come up, I know some of the Family Promise kids and any adults that want to come up and take a peek at the bells and chimes, feel free to come up and take a look at them. So good night. God bless you all.